أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to ITVusa's Ramadan series, Raising Our Children Right. My name is Dr. Suzy Ismail from Cornerstone, and I'm happy to be on this journey with you as we explore the different stages of tarbiyah and better understand what our children need and what we need as parents in raising our children right. We've been talking about the first stage of tarbiyah in particular, which is from ages 0 to 7. And we've talked about how this is the stage of stability, the stage of security, but it's also the stage of mercy. And subhanAllah, in this early stage of childhood, we see how children look to their parents as those who are their role models, as those who are going to be the most merciful to them. And we see this often, even a child, for example, who takes the crayon and writes on the wall or who spills the milk, right? They may get upset when the parent scolds them or when the parent responds in a way that might be a little bit harsh. But we often see the child very soon after, hugging the parent or, trying to kind of catch the parent's attention, trying to reconnect with the parent. Because at this stage, as parents, we are who our children know. And even if as parents, we may sometimes parent in a way that repeats a negative cycle that we have grown up with, our children in those early years can often be so forgiving towards us because of their love for us, because of their feeling that we are their safety, we are their security. And we often see at this age, for instance, the daughter, for instance, who might, put on a hijab and say, I want to be like mama. The son who might carry a briefcase or play on a laptop and say, I want to be like baba or I want to be like mama. Because at this age, our children are watching us and they are watching what we do, watching how we act in order to learn the behaviors that they find to be socially acceptable, to learn how to interact themselves with others, to learn how to be who they want to be. And many times they will want to be exactly who we are. And this is why, as parents, really pausing and thinking about the messages we are sending our children. And many times those messages are much more non-verbal than they are verbal. There's an exercise that we often do in different programs when we talk about positive parenting techniques. And, if I ask people to, put their hand on their knee, put their hand on their shoulder, put their hand on their head, oftentimes they will replicate this behavior as I'm asking them to move their hand into different places, right? But then if as I'm doing these types of gestures and repeating the words, I speak to the audience or I speak to the parents and I say, now put your hand on your chin. And even though I say the word chin, if I put my hand on my cheek instead, what we'll see is that most audience members will place their hand on their cheek rather than their chin. And this is because by nature, we are very visual creatures. And our children, particularly before the age of verbality, when they are nonverbal, when they're still processing the world around them more with sight than they are with words, they are looking to us to see what we're doing. So for example, when we raise our children and maybe we tell our children, don't be mean to your sibling, don't yell, at your friends, don't snatch things, don't lie, right? But if our children are hearing us say this, but seeing something different, maybe they are seeing us fight with our spouse, maybe they are hearing us raise our voice towards them, maybe they are recognizing behavior that is negative. For example, the child who, when the phone rings, maybe it's the grandmother and they turn to their own mother and, it's the mother-in-law and then they say, Mama, grandma's on the phone. And mom may say something like, tell her I'm not home, tell her I'm in the shower, tell her I'm busy now. And the child will recognize that and they may follow that, ask, but in that moment, what they're seeing and what they're hearing is it's okay to lie sometimes. And so when we are telling our children don't lie, but our actions are showing something different, they are more likely to imitate those actions because we are their role models. And it's such a small window during that first stage of tarbiyah, 0 to 7, that our children turn to us, to look to us, to learn behaviors that we want to ensure that we are being the best version of ourselves to our children. We know that the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in that stage with Al-Hassan wal-Hussein, with his grandchildren, when they would climb upon his back in salah, he wouldn't scold them. When Fatima radiallahu anha, the beloved daughter of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, would enter into a room, and when she was very young and he would see her, he would stand up for her and beckon for her to sit in his place. So he showed her through his actions what it meant to be respectful, to have that reciprocal respect. He showed Al-Hassan wal-Hussein, his grandchildren, love and patience, and modeled that behavior. And it's the modeling of the behavior that we want to teach that is so important in raising our children right. So I hope that you'll join me again tomorrow, inshallah, as we continue to explore this first stage of tarbiyah, age 0 to 7, and we continue to learn how to be the best parents that we can be, inshallah, to hopefully raise the best children that we can. Jazakumullahu khair. Wassalamu alaikum.